So we're going to start out with our sitting, and we're going to point and flex and point and flex and point and flex. And we'll go wide, and we'll circle. When you point your toes, your legs are straightened, bend, point, bend, point, bend, point. I do want to work a lot of like more yin. It's not necessarily a yin class with lots of yin in here. Work our hip joints and lots of different movements here. So we're going to come forward, and for some, it's enough to just be upright, and others can come forward. Some can drop the elbows down, pushing out through the heels, and breathe your way into this stretch. I think that ridiculousness only applies to dancing. I can't imagine it applies to yoga so much, but definitely to dancing. And for those who are shy and feel like they have two left feet. And then you're going to come up, and we'll come over to one side. And as we come over to one side, you extend your arm up overhead. So your arm might be up here, your hand could be behind your head, or you're reaching. Use a strap if you can't reach your foot, or not, and breathe. Stretch into your rib cage. And then we'll come up, and we'll do a second side. So extending, reach up high, inhale, and exhale, and again using a strap if you can't hold the foot, or maybe you can, and then use your peace fingers to wrap around your big toe. And tune in to your breathing. And coming up, we're going to go to the first side again. So now you're going to bend let's go ahead and bend the right knee. So bending your right knee. This is my right knee. And then twist towards your right. So long spine and look back. Deep breath in, exhale, deepen. And then from here, your right hand is just beside your right hip, and you're going to press up. So it might be partial. Maybe you feel like you're safer coming into a side plank, or the hand is back, and then you reach back. So you're lengthening your spine. Your hand could reach up towards the ceiling, or reaching to the wall behind you. And make sure your right wrist is directly under your right shoulder. And then release and come out. All right, second side. So we bend the knee, extend, and flex the ankle, and we'll twist. So hand across knee, long spine, and look back. And then your hand is down, hand directly under shoulder, and then you start to press up. So remember, you can adjust any way you like. You can have your arm up over ear, more of a side bend movement, but when you look up at the ceiling and your top arm reaches to the space behind you, that's when you get more of a back arch. Breathing in. Exhale. Good. And release. And release. All righty. So let's go ahead and have our feet extended. Yeah. And then we're going to bend one knee. So again, I'm bending the right knee, and I'm going to be reaching forward. So first, interlace fingers, press palms up. Breathe in. And then exhale and come forward. So you're reaching for your foot, lowering your head, reaching your hands for the outside left foot, and stretching into your low back. Good. From time to time, look ahead of you. Make sure you extend your back and then lower again. And, in your mind's eye, you're seeing the muscles stretching. And then we'll reach up. Okay? So from here, we're going to take the right foot to the outside left knee. Lengthen your left arm. Reach up. And exhale, hand or elbow across knee and twist to the right. And breathe. And then release. And now the foot goes on the inside, okay? So it's on the inside, and it's the right arm now up in there. That's my right knee. My right arm is up. And then you could use the leverage to twist. You could have a strap. Where's my strap when I want it? It's over there. Okay. You can reach for your strap, or the arms connect, okay? So I'm turning left. And breathe. Long spine. And then we're going to release, and we'll do the movements on the second side. So your left knee is bending. You're facing the front end of your mat. Interlace fingers, press palms up into the air. Deep breath in, and then exhale and reach forward. Try to extend your back, lower your head, maybe reaching for the outside right foot, and bring your head towards your knee. But from time to time, lengthen your spine and then lower again. You're going to reach up, reach your arms up, and then from here, left foot is, the knee was out to the side, now the knee comes up, and we're going to go ahead and take your left arm up, reach forward, wrap. So again, you might say, you're turning to the right, so maybe you have the leverage of left arm against left leg, or maybe you have your strap or your hands connect. And both sitting bones down, turn towards your right and breathe. Good. And releasing. All right. So we're coming onto our backs, and as we come onto our backs, take a moment to pull knees into chest, stretching your lower back. Yeah, so those opening movements, I think they're pretty powerful. I want you to just rock side to side. Yeah. And then we'll come to a bridge. So feet are going to press down. Take a moment. You may even want to take your hands to your neck and elongate. Grab hold of your head and lift and lower. And then lifting the pelvis up. And hands are down or clasping your hands. So tuck shoulders underneath you. I find if you've got a good sticky mat, your hands, your arms are not going to slide underneath you. You have to lift, shift, and then you can come into the pose. So breathing, inhale, exhale. And then releasing, and as you release, take hold of your feet, grab hold of your outside feet. Your arms are on the inside knees, grabbing hold of your ankles, your outside feet, and go wide, go wide. Happy baby pose. Breathe in. Exhale. And again, breath in. Exhale. And then soles of the feet are together. Outside feet resting down, soles of the feet are together, hands are right onto the belly, and breathe into your hands. When you inhale, you inflate, and then when you exhale, you deflate. Again, inhale, and exhale. Then we'll go ahead and grab hold of one foot. And meanwhile, I have a hold of my right foot. Meanwhile, my left leg can come down to the mat. So it's going to stretch. And you're holding your right foot. So some have to use a strap to go there. Some can hold. And then we're going to make a circle. So circle as if your foot is a giant crayon. And you're circling and circling. And then reverse. Circle. And circle, and circle. Good. Take a breath in, lift your head, take your head to or towards your foot, and breathe. Imagine your left foot is like a dandelion root reaching down into the earth. It's anchoring you. And then release, and we'll come to the second side. So let's start out first with bound angle. So the soles of the feet are together. Now it might feel like one side is more open because you did work one side a little more. This time, interlace fingers, press palms up towards the ceiling, and then take your arms up overhead. And if something's in the way, push it out of the way. You want to extend fully. And again, when you inhale, you inflate your ribs, and when you exhale, you deflate the whole rib cage. Release the hands and take hold of your left foot. Once you have a hold of your left foot, your right leg starts to straighten, getting into the outer hip, and we'll circle. So when you circle, the movement is coming from your hip. There's a way in which I can just move my knee, but I want the whole hip to move. And then reverse the circles. And then once you come back to center, on an exhalation, lift your head and see if you can bring your foot to or towards your head. Meanwhile, look at your right leg, and there's the dandelion root. It's reaching down. It's a carrot. It's reaching down into the earth, pushing out. Your heel is leading the way as you burrow into the earth, yeah? And then release and stretch your legs. Good work, good work. And so let's go ahead and we'll do, we're going to look at 3 twists, okay? So the first one is, think of there are three categories of twist actually. So your right foot is on your left knee, and you're going to come over and just twist. But what's really important is you take your left hip over to the right so that you're going to remain center line of your mat. So this is about being on an axis, on a horizontal axis in this case. Turn your head right, anchor your right shoulder down, stretching your hip, breathe in. If you like, you could also straighten your leg. Now, it might be that your leg is down, might be that you have a strap holding the foot, or you have hand to foot, okay? So it's up to you, bent knee or straighten, and you're still center line. The straight leg is active, okay? Turn your head opposite of the stretched leg. And release, come on out. And then from here, so we have the second side, left foot on right knee. You're coming across. Before you go very far, shift your right hip over to the left. And then you twist. So you're staying in that center line, extending your left arm, turning your head to the left, and breathe. Again, make little adjustments. See if you can get your left shoulder blade to touch down. And some can go further. Maybe you straighten your leg and just bring it down using a strap or hand to foot as you extend your leg. So as you extend your leg, work at getting your left shoulder down. Your right leg is active. And breathe. All right, and then bend the knee and come back to center. So that's the first type of twist where you stay on a horizontal axis. The next one then has more of a back stretch, and so you bend your knees. We're going to drop the knees to the left, and then once you do so, you're going to straighten your legs. So I'm not going to adjust my pelvis. So what happens? My right shoulder is to the right edge of the mat. My left hip is to the left edge of the mat. So I'm like a diagonal on my mat. And again, you might say knees bent, legs straighten. Some of you can catch hold of your foot using your feet, using a strap, or using grabbing hold of big toes. In this case, the top leg, the right leg, it appears to be shorter because you're shifting back. The legs are not going to be even. When I look at them, my right leg shifts back a sub. Turn your head to the right, and the focus on this stretch is lower back. Yes, you'll feel it everywhere else as well, but the focus is more about stretching the low back and not staying in that on the line you had on the previous twist. Yeah. Let's go ahead and come the other way. So you come back through center. You don't have to adjust. And then you're going to take your knees over to the right. So that might be it right there. And you can see how my shoulder is to the right of the mat, to the left of the mat, sorry, my right hip is to the right of the mat. And I'm not really concerned with being in the center. And there's a stretch to the back. Now, some of you can straighten your legs and not catch hold, and some might want to catch hold. The difference being, if you catch hold, it's a more intense stretch, okay? And breathe. So it's a low back, it might be outer hip where you feel this, and a few rounds of breath here. All right. And then we're going to bend the knees and come on out. So with the third category, which adds more of a upper back opening. And so what we do is we take the right knee over the other, and you could rock. Arms are at a T, and you rock. Side, 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 side. Left, right, right, left. Yeah, back and forth. Back and forth. And then next time you go to the right, go ahead and drop anchor. The legs are all entwined. You can intertwine. You can separate so they're not intertwined anymore. And then where the arch comes in is when it's a gentle arch. Your right hand reaches for your left foot. And you might have to loop the foot there. But once you reach, then you're going to turn your head to the right and really roll your right shoulder down. So you can sense this is more about arching the back. Left hand can come on right knee, and maybe you can draw the knee down or closer to the floor. But I am trying to get my right shoulder down. And it's quite the twist. Breathing in. Exhale. And release. Come on out. Okay, so second side, you want to realign, you want to be center. Left knee over the other, and arms are at a T position, and you're going from side to side, back and forth, back and forth. And then finally, next time your knees are over to the right, you're going to drop anchor. You'll separate so the legs aren't intertwined anymore. And then grab hold, left hand, right foot, right hand, left knee. Try to anchor your left shoulder down and breathe. And release, come on out, good work. Hopefully your outer hips are happy here and your spine happy. We're going to pull knees into chest. Keep hugging right knee to chest. Hold your knee, your shin bone, or your foot, bringing your head up towards your knee. And then we'll do the other side. Lower your head for a moment. Hug your left knee to chest. And then either you're holding your knee, your shin bone, your foot, what is possible, and lift your head towards your knee. Good. And release. So we're going to come on up to sitting. And coming to child's pose. So have your knees maybe a little wider than hip distance apart. Lower your head and stretch. I'll be right back. from child's pose, take one more breath in here. Inhale. Exhale. And then come right onto the hands and knees and round into your back. And inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. One more round. Inhale, arch. Good. And then circles, circling. So I'm moving my hands forward so I can really come forward. Press out to the side, back, over. And breathe. And then reverse. And from here, hands are spread wide, and we're going to come back into downward facing dog. So curling toes under, press back, take a moment to lengthen your spine. Pedal, bend one knee, press opposite heel down, back and forth. Back and forth, really working through your legs, your heels. Stretching out the legs, take your tailbone up high, breathe in. Exhale. Now we're going to take the right leg up into the air. Swing the leg up high. Look at your right hand and take your foot to the outside right hand. So you have a lizard here. You're dropping down into your lizard. You could have your hands on fists if that's a lot of weight on your wrists. Pressing. For some reason, this pose tends to put a lot of weight on my wrist, so I do make the fist on this one. And stretch. Stretch your right hip flexor, your left hip flexor. Then the knee can come down and take your right hand to your right hand to right knee, turn and look up, and then swing your arm up and reach the arm back. If you want, you could extend your back leg. So it's a twist, but you're going way back. You're reaching your arm back. You can draw the knee down again, and maybe right hand reaches the back foot, stretching your quad. It's right up there with intense quad stretch at the wall. All right, so we're going to just kind of start it all over. You're going to draw back into child's pose. Just take a moment in child's pose. Stretch back. Take a moment. Breathe into your back. Create space, especially in your low back. And then let's do downward facing dog. We're going to press all the way back. And your feet can be a little wide, your heels dropping down. Take a moment here. Breathe in. Exhale. And then we'll take the left leg up in the air. Reach the leg up high. You could point the toes if you want. Straighten your leg. Look at your left hand and swing the foot to the outside left hand. So again, maybe you're on your hands, maybe you're on your fists. See what works for you. Drop your hip down, stretch your right hip flexor. And we'll bring our knee down. Left hand on left knee, turn. So that might be it right there, or you're extending your arm, reaching the arm back, and some of you will curl back toes under, lift the back knee, and stretch. Breath in. Exhale. And lower. And then reaching. Left hand reaches for the back foot, if possible. Sometimes the best you can do is bend, and that's a stretch unto itself, or reaching. And breathe. Okay, once again, we're going to come back to child's pose. This time, bring your hands back by your heels. Lower your head and breathe. Mm-hmm. So we have dolphin, and when you have dolphin, you could clasp your hands, make it a little easier, or palms are flat. Okay, so we're coming into dolphin, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my blanket away because it will get in the way. Elbows are down, and my hands are towards the edge of the mat, and curl toes under, and lift your knees. So it requires effort, right? A lot of these poses require a lot of effort. And you can walk your feet in a little more. That means you're bearing more weight on your shoulders. Make sure your neck is relaxed and your head not touching the floor. It might be closed, but it's not touching. Breathe in. Exhale. Let's walk the feet back to plank and pause in plank. Breathe in. Exhale. We're going to lower the belly. And it should be that you end up, that your elbows are directly under shoulders. And look ahead of you. And breathe. So there's a way in which I can drop down and a way in which I can build up. Try to build up. And press your hands into the mat and arch your back. And breathe. Lower. Bring your forehead down. Take a moment here. Breath in. Exhale. You're going to bring your hands back by your pelvis. The hands are moving back by the pelvis. You're looking straight ahead of you. Your feet are going to go wide. Let your feet go wide. And let your legs lift up if they can. And breathe. So arms are elevated. Pelvic bones, pubic bone is the fulcrum point. Breathe in. Exhale and lower. And take your head down. Let your shoulders relax. You're resting on one side of the face. And then go ahead and come up and reach. Look ahead of you. Breathe. I would say rest on the other side of your face. I won't because of the ear mic. Let your head drop down. Let your hands drop down, palms facing up. Should we do one more? Let's do one more. 3 is a good number. Come up. Oh, third one's the best, okay? So it takes effort to have a strong back. Breathe in. Now take your arms to a V. If this bothers your neck, look down. And then take your arms back like you're going to, like the W. Squeeze in, squeeze in. Hands want to drop down. Bring your arms up. Take your arms out to an L, to a T, and then to an L, and squeeze in, and have your palms facing up. Facing down, but reaching up. And then lower your forehead onto your hands. Relax your neck, your shoulders, your legs. And press back. Hatha asana. So you might want your blanket again. Your thighs stay on the vertical. Your arms move forward. And your forehead is down. So your spine is long. You're drawing your belly in on the exhalations. Curling your toes under, stretching the feet, yeah. And I know some can't do this, so you're upright, and some can sit, and really putting some pressure. If the knees don't like this kind of compression, sometimes tucking a rolled blanket under the knees or even having a block. It's not so uncomfortable, and you could just really control how your knees go. And then from here, a forward bend. So you might want your block again, or maybe you have your 2 blocks because we're coming to a forward bend. So I'm going to press up. I used my hands on the block a lot. And there I am in a forward fold at the back end of my mat. I can step on my mat and lower. Maybe you need the blocks, maybe you don't. You have 3 heights with the blocks. Take a moment to feel the whole back of your body stretching. Breathe in. Exhale. Once again, breath in. Exhale. Look ahead of you, lengthen out the spine, and come on up and swing the arms up high. Good. And let me adjust. Okay. So this next one, you're facing the blocks, but I'll face you for a moment. You're going to take your right leg in front of the other. The feet are not separate, but the outer edges of the feet line up. They touch. And then swing the arms up. This is the one for the IT bands. You're coming down. And you could bend your knees here. That's fine. Or have your legs straighten. And maybe you can go lower with the blocks or not use them at all. Just you decide. So your right leg is in front of the other. And what we're going to do is we're going to walk to the right. If your right leg's in front of the other, you'll walk to the right so that the stretch is along the left outside leg or the left IT band. And breathe. And then come back to center. Come on up. Sweep the arms up. And we have a second side. So left leg in front of the other. Sweep the arms up. And come down. And once you come down, you're stretching the whole outer leg. And again, it's the back leg that it's in this case the right leg that will get more of a stretch. So we're going to walk the blocks to the left. When you walk the blocks to the left, your right hip shifts to the right more. Lengthen the whole right side of your body and breathe. And back to center. Good work. And come up, sweep the arms up, and hands to heart center. Good work. So if you need a little something to hang on to, chair is good, a wall is good. We're going to take the right leg over the other. You've got a 4, and you're going to come down. So you're going to just drop down. You can have your hands to your heart. Drop down, and come up. We're going to do that twice more. Same side. Flex your ankle to protect your knee. Come down, drop down. And so my bottom knee is pointing to the screen and up. Last one. Exhale down. Outer hip stretch and up. And then we do the other side. Flexing your left ankle. Deep breath in, exhale, down. And up. And again, down. And up. I can't remember. I think there might be one more. We're doing 4 on this side. Coming down, just stretching, pause for a moment, and up. I focus so much on the breath, on doing the action, on guiding you, that the counting goes by the wayside. It always has. Even when I'm doing my cardio workouts and that, hard for me to count. So you could, go wide on your mat. I'm going to face this way. We're going to go wide. My feet are off the mat. My blocks are in position. And I'm going to press my thighs back and then reach for the blocks. So try to draw your belly in on the exhalations. Walk your hands forward with the blocks and stretch. You could have, you might not want the blocks. That's fine. You don't have to have them. I have them on middle height. I'm going to go even lower. And instead of shifting forward, I want to take the sits bones back. Shake out the head. Breathe in. Exhale. Take your left hand to your right ankle and twist. Maybe you're reaching your knee or your ankle. Send your sits bones back. Stretch your back, turn so you're not looking above your head but below. And the other side, left hand is down, right hand comes across, right hand to left ankle, twist, and breathe. Try to elongate your back. Breathe. And back to center. Walking hands onto the thighs and up you go. Okay, some balance. Okay, more balance because that one was a balance. Okay, so we have this first one. We're going to do your right leg up, out to the side and down. You make hip circles. Right leg up, out to the side, down. One more up, out to the side, and then let's add tree, okay? So you take your foot as high as you can. Hands are to the heart. Hands may be hovering above your head. Arms fully extended, or arms out to a V, and breathe. Breathing in. Exhale. And release. And we'll do second side. So left leg comes up, out to the side, and down. Forward, engage your core so your upper body's not moving too much. Out to the side and down. It's all slow motion. Knee up, knee out to the side, and then the foot comes in. And I'm trying not to look down as I reach for my foot because I'm looking at a drishti point. Hands are to heart. Arms reaching up. And you have tree. And release. Taking your hands down. Good work. So we have a squat. You can go wide-legged if that's easier for your knees, or modifying. Some are coming all the way down into the squat. Your feet might be closer in than mine are. And breathe. Inhale. Exhale. And then hands help you to press. You'll end up in a forward bend. And soften the knees. Come on up. Good. We have, so I kept looking for my strap. It's way up here. Okay. So on this next one, I know some really do need to hang on. Okay. So what I would say is, if you're, let me see. Yeah, maybe I'll go in this direction so you can see. If I go, I'm holding onto a wall. If it's my right leg forward, then my left hand holds. If, and we'll do both sides. So if I'm holding, if my left leg up, then my right hand will hold, okay? If you need this, all right? Some are able to hold, no strap needed. But here's what I say. If you're using a strap, strap the foot, loop the foot, and then pause. In some cases, you're hanging on, right? Once you are able to really engage your core, then you straighten your leg. And you're trying not to go too far back, okay? So here we are. And breathe. Remember that the foot is not out to the side, but forward, like you're trying to take it forward. And then we're going to release, and you'll feel that in your quads a lot, I think. So second side, remember to loop the foot first. Find your drishti point. Bend the knee. Engage your core. Be upright. Don't, because the core is going to be very important as you extend your leg. And the leg's not going off to the side, but forward. Toes are pointing up to the sky. And breathe. You're using your biceps, so shoulders are relaxed. And release. Good work. Good work. All righty. So let's go ahead and we'll do a nice side bend movement. Extended side angle. So left foot leading the way, but we'll pause in warrior two. Okay. So you'll bend your knee. And, I'm not very far apart. So this to me, it's not challenging. So I'm going to go a little wider. Now I'm challenged when I have that 90 degree. So see what challenges you. And then extend the arms. So these poses build, the warrior two builds stamina, building the stamina. And Elise, swimmer stamina as well, yeah. And then you're going to look to towards your leading hand, yeah? Breathing in, exhale. You're going to come over, and your arm is making its way up over ear. You can modify or take your hand to ankle, side bend. We're going to add a movement here. So your right hand comes down, your back heel comes up. Since your left foot is forward, we're coming to pigeon. So you might say, not everybody's going to come pigeon. Maybe you're like, oh, I'm going to stay here, stretching my hip flexor. Maybe you'll take your arms up, working on crescent moon. Or you'll take your left leg, swing it up into the air, bring your knee forward, and lift. We'll be here about, let's say, 4 rounds of breath, okay? So some are doing their something else entirely if it doesn't feel safe for your knee or your hip. And pressing up. Okay. So what we're going to do is the leg that was forward, it's going to swing up into the air. It's going to swing forward. And you're going to make your way back to center all the way up to do the second side the other way. So if blocks helped you, you have to bring them over, okay? So here we are. Right foot turns out, go plenty wide, right knee is bending. What I like to do is imagine I'm pushing 2 walls away from me, like really pushing. So you're using your muscles, you're having to extend, and then you straighten out your arms and you you feel the integrity of the pose. And bend, and you're looking past your right hand, and breathe. Building your stamina. You're going to come over and come into extended side angle and breathe. Stretch. Remember what we're going to do. We're going to lower the hand. The back heel will come up. The back heel probably has to hop a little more to the left, okay? And your forward leg, that for me, that's my right. It's going to swing up into the air. And this is where, again, some of you are staying in crescent moon or working your hip flexor. Others have come into pigeon, right knee forward. Look ahead of you, look up. And exhale, lower. Come on to the elbow. And a few rounds of breath here. Beautiful. You're going to come up. And then from here, we're all going to press back to downward facing dog. Take a moment to stretch back. Good, because we're almost ready to bring everything down. So you're onto the hands and knees. Come to sitting for a moment. And what we're going to do here is Ujjayi breathing. If you want, be comfortable as you're sitting, right? Ujjayi. Jai means to conquer or victory. What is it? You're victorious over that monkey mind. Victorious over the mind that's like thinking of 1,000 things. You are present. And that's the beauty of yoga. That's the meditative art is. Some days we're really successful with it. Some days we try, and it like, But hopefully today is one of those days where you're like, So we're going to practice Ujjayi breath. You constrict your glottis. Easy words, you constrict your throat, okay? And the breathing is through the nose, mouth is closed, spine is long. Some call it the ocean breath because it sounds like the seashell put to your ear. Some call it Darth Vader breath. Okay, I like the sea breath as a nice image for yoga. Okay, so wonderful for concentration. Breathing. Continue with that. If it doesn't make sense to you, if you can't even hear me doing it, and you're like, I have no idea what she's doing, you could just do deep breathing, just rounds of breath. But if you know how to constrict, let your breath be very long. Each breath is long in duration. We're going to come onto our backs. Didn't do it very long, but enough. And you're going to just breathe normally. Have your feet wide. If you have a bolster, your bolster could be under your knees. Be comfortable. Feel today's session. Every session is different. Every experience of Shavasana is different. Every moment unique. Though there is something in yoga that we call the eternal now. The eternal now. It's a continuum of now. In your mind's eye, I would like you to find yourself in a room. It's a space. It's huge. And it's 360-degree view. And you could choose what your view is in this beautiful room. There's no one else in it. It's just you. It could be cityscape, desert, forest, ocean. It could be meadows, prairie, a river. Whatever it is you want to see, whatever natural landscape or cityscape you want to see, that is what it is, 360-degree view. Temperature to your liking. Maybe there are mountains that you're looking at, chains of mountains. Maybe your windows are open because the weather is fine, or the windows are closed. Whatever you like. This is your space. You could be exactly who you are in this place. And today, I want you to be, for a moment anyways, like a Sufi. You're a spinning Sufi. You're just going to take your arms wide, spin, spin, spin. And maybe you'll take a moment and dance wildly and not care at all whether you're directly in sync with the rhythm or how you look. You're just going to dance wildly to some song, some crazy song that makes your feet move. And then you're going to find that very center of this beautiful room. It's pristine, it's clean, it's quiet. And you're going to find that beautiful center, and you're going to sit in perfect stillness, breathing, tuning in to your body, your mind, your spirit, your breath. And then I'm going to have you just slowly begin to deepen your breath, taking your arms up overhead, nice full body stretch. And then as you are ready, you roll to one side, you make your way to sitting.